fall into a trap that I made by myself. Oh, and I always do the wrong thing. I'm unstable and I'm unsteady. I've lost a million times already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down. I feel unable and so unworthy. My heart feels heavy, I've lost already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. I'm always self-destructive. I take a hit, I love it. Can you give me a second? I'm slow, got blurry vision. I fall into a trap that I made by myself. Oh, and I always do the wrong thing. I'm unstable and I'm unsteady. I've lost a million times already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down. I feel unable and so unworthy. My heart feels heavy, I've lost already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. Please help me see the things that I am. I don't understand. I'm doing the best that I can right now, but it's never enough. I'm not even ready to slow down. To slow down. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Wait, you're lying to us and I can't own a house. I can barely have a job. Forced into the gig economy, I get to deliver burritos.
What is going on, Hive? I hope that everybody's having a fantastic day. Got the audio coming in loud and clear. This is your first time tuning in. Welcome to the Hive. This is a contrarian thinking live stream where we are not afraid to think past the headlines. And if you're easily rattled or offended on behalf of others, this is not going to be the stream for you, especially tonight. We are going to be talking about the Idaho 4 case. And that case seems to have waves and waves of momentum around it. There seems to be times where the narrative surrounding it is starting to pick up momentum, like, wow, maybe the truth's going to come out. And then other times, almost every time, shortly after you feel that way, it gets shut down extremely quickly. But nonetheless, super excited to be here. Thank you all for tuning in. And if I seem a little bit flustered, it's because I was trying to get something set up for the stream for about 4 hours. And I finally got it to work, and I was trying to tweak it, just make it perfect. And I completely messed all of it up. So I'm a little bit flustered, but now when you guys send a super chat over $1.99, it should automatically pop up right here next to my head. And then if it's over $4.99, it'll automatically read. So that's pretty cool. I'm slowly working towards being able to do the Hive call-ins. So that was a suggestion last night from the stream. So I am doing my best and I'm working on it. But enough of that. Let me say what's up to everybody. Michelle Murray, good to see you. That's right. The ever-changing narrative. Gang, gang. Candy 420. Tony. What's going on? 509 Sandra. Lisa Marie. Berdino. Sweet PB says, hi, Dawn. That's Discord Dawn to you. What up, Brandon? And Grammy T, Mr. Smixon, Freedom Fighter, how you doing? Good to see you're typing. Getting that wrist all healed up. Growth Renewal says, burritos. What up, Lucas? Beck, good to see you. Katie, Luna, Sam, what's up? La Mike. Is it LA Mike or is it La Mike? I've actually wondered that. Kathy's buzzing in from North Carolina. I love that. What up, Discord Dawn? Phoenix, what's Gucci, my Louie? Carrie, how are you? Caleb, what's Gucci? Z says she's got more questions. Not an NPC is cooking dinner with the Hive. What are you having tonight? Squirrel, Nest. Molly Bledsoe, Kyler, Stacy. What up, Jackie? Amanda B from West Virginia. Wolfpack. Essie, how are you doing? Keeping Robin in line. What up, Mr. Smixon? I think I already said what's up. I'll say what's up again to you. Lily, UK Karen. You're on day 2 of a fast. Man, that's great. That's great. Fasting's one of those things that once you start it and you like, it's always kind of hard, but I'm saying once you do one, I don't feel like it's ever as hard as the first time you do it. It is LA, just to clarify. All right, cool. Nurse Shirt, tuning in from Central Texas. You know, Grammy T, I got to say something about a comment that I saw when I was editing, and I don't know how I missed it. And if you were in the live last night with DA, we were having a great time. There was a comment made by Grammy T in the live replay. Oh, so the audio's not working. Thank you so much, Sandra. I'm still tweaking the audio, but how cool is that? I think it's pretty cool. I think it's probably cool because it also took me 4 hours, but I'm working on getting the audio. So thank you so much, Sandra. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that worked out good. So I'm trying to still figure out how to get that to work. So stay tuned. But Sandra, thank you so much for the super chat. #1 YouTube stream with the best Hive Mind fam, an amazing leader, Birdie. Oh, shucks. You're going to make me blush. I appreciate that. Seeking the truth always. Much love from Toonie and the 509 fam. Good to see you. But going back to Grammy T's absurd comment about what happened when we got caught out in Washington, D.C. in 8th grade, and I'll just leave it at that. I'll just say, yeah, just absolute 10 out of 10. Would never have expected that from someone with the username Grammy T, but I love it. I love it. So, all right, Hive. Now, if you saw the thumbnail that I had for this evening, it was people are missing this. And it has to do with the 1122 King Road house in general. Thank you so much, Adrian. I appreciate that. And let's brainstorm here before I really dive into it, because I have something to bounce off of all of you guys when it comes to the house in general. Like, what are we missing about the house? Okay. It could be crime scene photos. It could be where they say that, you know, Brian Koberger, but we know it's not him, walked into the house. We could say it's a girl's rooms. We could say the fact that it got torn down. Okay. So I have 2 things that I want to say about it, but I want to see what you guys all think when I say everybody is missing this about the 1122 King Road house. Well, yeah, the entire structure. Yep. Phoenix, I'm telling you that, jokes aside, I know we laugh about it. There's something weird about that. 6th roommate. The 1st floor. The foundation. The landlord's basement. Oh, I know. The knife sheath. Luna. Mr. Smixon, can you read my mind? I didn't even expect somebody to get it that quickly. And that seems rather obvious. Okay, that seems rather obvious. So I'm wondering, about these crime scene photos, like why are they blocking it out? We're all assuming, or we were all assuming that it was blood and gore and bodies. Then it started to kind of come out. We're like, well, maybe it's all of those, but it's not, because they're going to be female bodies if the girls did kill some of the perpetrators. But in general, Mr. Smixon kind of hit the nail on the head from a 40,000 foot view, which is something would have been revealed if they kept it up. These pictures, they're all so strategic. And have you noticed that they're all extremely useless? They're photographing everything with such detail that doesn't matter. And so drill down kind of on what Mr. Smixon said. Closet crawl spaces. Furnace room is locked. The basement, the house held the key. Absolutely. The ladder leaned up. Man, these tunnels, the closest that we ever got to finding them was just that Moscow and the University of Idaho had a ton of tunnels. We watched a guy get from one building to his dorm room, which was wild. It was under like a random account. It only had like, 38 views or 80 views, and it was up for a long time. Yep. Dude, I swear, Phoenix, I swear to God they did. I swear they had to have. They had to have. Okay? So I was talking to Mrs. Birdie about this. One of the things about a college house and 1122 King Road's house, those houses are so fragile. Okay? They're extremely fragile. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you've ever watched the house getting torn down, and I'm going to show that video tonight, the bulldozer, the tractor that they used to knock it down, it took it out with one sweep of like the boom that you would like scoop the dirt with. It once like took it out so easily. Like very easily. I find it hard to believe those walls don't have scuffs on it. Like, so to Phoenix's point, the floors are trashed. There's garbage everywhere. There's empties everywhere. There's nicks on the floor. The windows have handprints on it. But the walls are they're absolutely perfect. If anything, they have a shine on it. Now, I'm not just going to be talking about and hyping up. Trust me, I'm not going to come up and hype the fact that they might have painted the walls as if that's some big, oh, wow, they got it. But it is big. Don't get me wrong. It's like, it could be important. But what about if there was this chase that allegedly occurred? Like if somebody was falling down the stairs and running for their life, I don't see how there's not scuff marks in those stairs. I don't like you put your hand. If you put your hand on a wall, there's like a smudge mark. There's paint cans there. Yes. And it means you'd be able to hear everything. It's way too Robin, it's way too clean in it's the spots that should be dirty are the cleanest. Okay, like the normal wear and tear of a college house, those seem to be like the cleanest. Again, the walls and I don't know, just little things like that. So yeah, let me actually pull that video up in case you guys haven't seen it. Oh, I didn't have it shared. Where's that button? All right.
News at 4.
The house where 4 University of Idaho students were brutally stabbed to death last November has now been demolished. Our Brenda Rodriguez was there as it happened this morning. She joins us live from Moscow with the latest. Brenda, good afternoon. What's the latest there?
Yeah, well, Joe, last time I checked in with you, there was a house, a full house right behind me. Well, as you can see, that's no longer the case, and that's because the demolition started this morning at around 6:30. They got a head start, an earlier head start. It was expected to start at 7, but they did come in a little bit earlier to get that done. I'm going to show you here some video of what it looked like earlier when the demolition started and throughout the time that they were taking down the home. That's going to show up on your screen right now. And as a reminder, both sides had final access to the house earlier this month. U of I's Executive Director of Communications, Jody Walker, says that the University of Idaho made the decision after receiving a response in writing form from prosecutors saying that there was, quote, no further need for the house. Now, some people, including the Gonzalez family, disagreed with tearing down the house now before a trial date was even set. But the University of Idaho says that this demo was always a part of their plan. And now that students are away on winter break, Walker says that this was the right time to do it. And now more than ever, she says that students and community members have expressed their support.
Our students have encouraged us to take that house down. We've heard from them. Many students live in the area of that house. That is a highly populated student area. And every day they have to look out their windows and see it. They walk by it. It is part of their daily life. And they're ready.
I think it's really good that they're tearing it down. I don't want to say things will kind of go back to normal, but I think our campus will kind of start to heal from that.
And a different student told us off camera that there was a committee created of students and facility members to gauge where students were at. She says that she felt included and a part of the conversation for today's decision. And just like I mentioned, that demolition just, there's really nothing there anymore. When I did talk to the university, they said it would take several days, about 6 to 8 hours today. But the house was actually torn down in about like 2.5, 3 hours. So they moved quickly. It's really unsure if they're completely finished with this. But Joe, we do know that the university does plan to put some grass in the area until they can decide what to do with it.
All right, Brenda Rodriguez reporting for us from Moscow. Thank you so much. Will be interesting to see what the university ends up doing with that.
So that is one of that's like just a background on how quickly they were able to get it done. And now there was this Facebook video that was posted of it. Does this one show the actual? No, there's a really good video that actually shows the demo. Where is it? Come on. Right here. There's no audio on my end either. Just so you guys know. Okay, so a couple things that I noticed. One, how weird is it that right here, these wall panels, they're already taken out. Now, was that where they said they removed the drywall or no? Because I spent a lot of time earlier this afternoon looking through this, and I'm just like, it looks like pieces of the wall are already off. So drywall was removed from inside the stairwell. Yep. Is that confirmed? I'd heard people talking about that time as you said that. That's crazy. There's just, it's such a tight layout for that house. And the other thing too is like, did they go and remove, like, did they go and spend the money? This is what I'm confused about. Did they go and spend the money for the crime cleanup just to tear it down? They had it boarded up. They had it fenced off the whole time. I mean, just, it's so weird to see this. I mean, there's no method to this madness. Maybe there is. It doesn't seem like it. It just seems like, it seems like any one of us could get behind that bulldozer and do this, which would be a blast. Honestly, it'd be fun. That's a great question. Batshit crazy, wearing that tinfoil hat early. Yeah, it's so odd for a case that hasn't gone to trial. Right. Which one was it? What up, Adrian? What'd you see? What'd you see? One. Easy there. Easy there, Freud. Yeah, it was an insult. Adrian, you can't say pause and then, unless you're typing it. Oh, it's a good view of the top of the house and the fencing. Yes, yeah. I thought too, like, you know, remember when we saw the cops that were kind of looking over back in this area? Going with the gunshot theory, I did have a thought that I'm like, because they had like the, what do they call it? Like the laser out up here, or what looked to be a laser on a tripod. And I'm like, would that be at the same height of this hill? Like, are they looking for an expelled round? Do you guys remember that photo that I'm talking about? In some of the pictures were taken where you could see the tripod almost kind of right here. But again, as we're going through this, like, what is everybody missing about them tearing it down rather than the obvious? We have to forget. We're still going to go with that theme of forgetting anything and everything that we know about this house. Watch this. I think this is where they just one sweep and boom. Look at that. See, Terry, that's how I know you can think critically, is the Pacific Northwest Highway and the human trafficking that happens along that area, along with narcotics and drugs and everything else. And it's like, is it an Easter egg for people that they're gonna be like, a dollhouse? Why would you call it a dollhouse? Or why would you bring in the dollhouse? Why would you tear down the house? It does totally look like, yeah. Chevy Metal said my chicken coop's built better than that. Now, okay, so let's get off of this screen, and I want to go to these photos here. which will be where is it? Alrighty. Okay. So I'm going to try to find this one. Damn. Okay. So there's also been a lot of conversation recently around these stairs here. Damn, I gotta go buy it. Did I go buy those damn stairs? Oh, I hate with these photos. If you guys have ever played around with these photos, at least on my computer, they jump around so easily. Come on. Let's go. Holy shit. I'm sorry, Hive. This is starting to make me sweat right now. Okay, finally. Okay. So there's been a lot of people that have talked about this doorway, this stairway. The only thing that I have to say, about this specific stairway is everybody was walking up and down them. Even if there was a cleanup, even if maybe law enforcement did know, like, isn't it odd that if this is the stairway where somebody was trying to escape and got shot, I'm just trying to think through, like, they're walking all over it. There's leaves. There's paper here. Who knows how long this paper's been there, if the cops put it there or not. I don't know if they would just be using that to set it anywhere. But look at these walls. They're shiny compared to everything else. Run from upstairs to downstairs with that extra step in the living room would made someone fall if they didn't know the layout. Exactly. But the other thing too is, did all of these leaves get tracked in that morning? Did they get tracked in while they're moving the belongings out? Like, when did these leaves get all tracked in? That's the part that I don't understand either with these crime scene photos. There is so much purposeful misdirection that it doesn't even seem like, okay, unpopular opinion. It almost seems like there's so much misdirection with these photos, and that we're picking up on the most granular things and we're trying to make them fit into this theory. Hence why we said we were going to go back to the beginning, forget everything we thought we knew about it. Guys, I'm telling you, this does not Not one damn thing matches with the scene of the crime. So why are we talking about it? And I wanted to bring up these steps because, again, these are wooden steps. They're not carpeted. The walls are paper thin. You saw how easy the house got torn down. Nobody's believing that everybody was asleep, or a lot of us didn't originally. Now we know they weren't asleep. Now we see the photos. There's nothing of the sorts that looks anything like 4 people were brutally stabbed and got chased throughout their house, even going back to like what Dateline said. So my question is, what do we say about the house? Like what can we honestly say about this? Does this look anything like it was cleaned up? Now, you could say, well, yeah, they could have. Oh, see, I can hear it through my headphones when you do that. And hang on, let me put it on screen. Thank you, Bex Tats. Riddle me this. Why does the Menendez, Simpson, Ramsey, Versace, Ford Theater still stand today? Absolutely. Great question. Great question. I'm going to try to fix that audio thing real quick right now while we're talking through this, because, and I don't just want to continue to go around in circles about the house. I don't know if the house has Thank you, Drew Bledsoe. And it's weird because, again, I can hear it kind of coming through my headphones. So I'd be curious if this works. That's awesome. Can you guys tell me real quick? Tell me if you hear something in a second. I'm just going to do a test one. Okay, I don't hear anything. Audio. One second. I really want this to work. Just, again, I'm pissed that I tried to do it. And wait, did that work? Did you guys hear that? Maybe not. Well, we gave it a good try. All right. All right. Well, anyways, this is the last try. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna be done trying. I wish you guys could hear it. Okay. All right, Hive. I think what you guys are hearing is the audio. Well, okay. So anyways, going back to these pictures. I want it, it's like if you guys are gonna do that, I want it to be where it's worth it for you guys. You know what I mean? So yo. Yeah, I think it was echoing, but um nonetheless, you guys have been patient. I'm sorry. I can mess with that on my own time. So just know that anything over $1.99 will get automatically put up onto the screen, and then $4.99 or higher is going to be auto read. So I think that's fun. It also prevents me from missing any super chats. It allows me to kind of just stay focused more on what we are presenting. So let me go ahead and get back to this now. Now, it's not like with these photos, we really need to even see them. We're not here to do a deep dive on it. But as I'm scrolling, again, the theme of tonight's stream is people are missing this about the house. Okay. And besides it being torn down, there's one other massive thing. There's one other massive thing other than it being torn down that is right in our face. And I'm talking like it has nothing to do pre-crime. I'm talking post-crime. Post-crime, everybody's missing this. What do you guys think it is? Because originally they said, oh, they don't want it to be memorial. Then they said, oh, it's because of the chemicals and things like that. And I'll put some comments up on the screen here. What up, ATL Drew? How you doing? Yes, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's missing this. Why are they not like, so there was somebody in the Hive that had said, look, there's plenty of places that have had brutal murders that have not been torn down. Okay. It does seem to be like any sketchy crime scene, though, they tear down right away. That is primetime location. Would you guys agree? Why would they not rebuild over that? So if they just wanted to not have that be a memorial, why not rebuild something completely different? It's very easily accessed, everyone. I think the university wants to grow in that direction. They've renovated Targhee Hall for the ROTC recently. They built lots of apartments along Taylor. They ended up not memorializing it. BK let them borrow his shower curtain. Was it the same? Oh, what do you mean by that? Just because it didn't look like BK had a shower curtain? Yeah, thank you, Kyler. I appreciate that. Get this out into the algo. I'm telling you, there's got to be a reason why they haven't built in that location yet. There has to be. I don't know what the reason is. We are all missing that fact. So there's something, I believe that there is a reason as to why that house, which is, it was the party house. We've heard a lot of people talk about it for a long time. That was like the spot, right? That was the spot if you were going to party. I don't know if it's because they can't build on top of it because of tunnels. I've never seen the tunnels are proof of it. Now, I do wonder if there's a reason that they're not building on top of it has to do with something with the courts. So they had to sign some sort of NDA to where they can't, like stuff with the construction company, they can't talk about it. They couldn't even really tell us where it was. I know people had said Tommy Jude said they buried it on someone's property. Right? They build on top of mine shafts, caves all the time in Kentucky. But again, guys, I mean, even when you buy a house today, I don't know if this is true, if this is a rumor, doesn't the realtor have to tell you if there was like a suicide or if there was a murder in that house? Dude, it could also just very well be psychological, like whitewashing. You know what I'm saying? It could absolutely just be that. It could just be psychological whitewashing of this entire crime. I mean, again, as we're just kind of going through this, I don't want to just sit here and try to say that I have all of the answers, but I do have a lot of questions outside of tearing it down so quickly. That's what I think people are missing, is we're not thinking critically enough about this house being torn down. It seems way too simple of a narrative. It raised way too many red flags about this case for them to tear it down. They know that. In addition to tearing it down, they're sealing everything. They're still moving on with the narrative of like, you know, hey, stop questioning this. We told you it all. But so one, do you think that it could be that simple? Do you really think that it's that simple that they're just tearing this house down to tear it down to hide evidence? I mean, my question is, we saw the photos, guys. What evidence are they hiding? You do think it's that simple? Okay. But what evidence would they be hiding with it? We didn't. So are we to believe that the most gruesome crime scene that everybody has ever seen was just magically only ever in that room or those two rooms? Is it to reconstruct a timeline? I don't know if having the house up would even really allow you to do that, because they would still there's the green Elantra driving by. So you could bring a jury there, the more DNA. Okay. I mean, guys, think about the DNA argument too, though. They found other people's DNA. Like, that's what I'm trying to say, is every reason that we think they tore this house down for, it really, like, I don't know if it applies. So they have other people's DNA already. So they wouldn't need the house for that. Like, to retest for it to see if somebody else was there. I mean, I feel like there's always arguments, especially if they're going to let it, like, let's say it got reopened and they're like, well, Brian Koberger had trace DNA. Can they really then go and use the argument of trace DNA for anybody else to convict them if Brian got off or is going to get off? I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to say. Because we can't say that the evidence they found on Brian Koberger being trace, isn't relevant. And then if they go back and they test it and they find someone else's that's trace, multiple reasons, but and so to everybody that doesn't know, one's actually, are you a current police officer or an ex-police officer? But he's in law enforcement. So he said multiple reasons, but hiding. It's very, very odd to tear down a house like this with the trial still not on. I mean, yeah, totally. It just seems too simple. The fridge broke. We needed the house, y'all. That's funny. You currently work for NYPD. That's awesome. Right. No, they could still use it, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, think of what that would mean. Like, that DNA being blood or being something else. I just don't see how they would have not gotten that collected. And you could say, oh, it was cleaned up. Well, if it's cleaned up, then the house doesn't matter that it's there. I just think that the house was torn down for some other reason that we haven't talked about yet. And I think it's going to tie into the truth. Like, I'm telling you, last night at the end of the stream, when I watched the footage of where they say Brian Koberger sped away shortly after arriving, after being there for the Jason Bourne timeline window, I'm telling you, I believe that car is in reverse. Thank you, sweet PB. Appreciate that. I really do. You'd be interested in the males that lived there previously. Maybe they would have more insight with. Well, one of the guys that used to live there was on CNN. He said it was, creaky as hell. Man, yeah. That don't get me wrong. That's a reason. If a jury walked the house, the story wouldn't make sense. Again, I'm not trying to just get up here and disagree with everybody, because I agree with that. I'm saying with it just seems like clearly the legal route. So how do I explain this? For the sake of this conversation, you guys are all saying accurate points, but I'm saying as far as from the legal route, yeah, we know that the jury would probably have doubts. And as I said the other night, Brian Koberger is not going to be the person that brings this case back into the limelight. There's going to be a different reason. I do not believe that if the truth comes out about the Idaho 4 case, it's going to be because Brian Koberger was proven innocent by his legal proceedings, by his appeal. I really don't. I don't think that it would be. I think that would have happened already, guys. The man hasn't said a word. He missed his appeal window. I'm not saying that he can't still make it happen and that there's not cases of people who are wrongfully convicted getting out years later. This does not seem like that at all. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. 1-1 said, or thank you, Shoe Girl. 1-1, you said you think Koberger was involved. Interesting. In what regard, 1-1? Yeah, let's be honest. It was never going to trial. It was never going to go to trial. And at this point, we do need somebody to snitch on someone involved. The silence in that town is unbelievable. The only people that have ever been able to talk about it are the people that only confirm the narrative surrounding the girls. And that's what's even crazier too. Nope. Brian Koberger has nothing but narrative surrounding him. Thank you so much, April Brown. Lisa, thank you so much. Tunnel is the hub of the trafficking, making drugs, Fight Club. The tunnels lead to all evil underneath to the border. Don't get me wrong. Tunnels are real. Tunnels are absolutely real. I think we can all agree with that. I want the Hive right now to have one of those nights where we collectively come together and we think about it again. Tearing this house down, besides the fact they're covering up corruption. Just frame it in that light. Besides covering up corruption, why would they tear this house down? I just and again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion in the Hive. That's the entire thing of it. I just don't know how to the point of if he's involved. How is nobody snitched about the other people? It's such a small town is all we've heard. He could be taking the full blame. Just hard to see how one person could pull this off when none of the other witnesses or neighbors even recognize him. Again, there is minuscule DNA. There's no connection. The investigators, if we go back and we listen to that, that could be it. That could be it. That could be a reason. But again, well, if the other perps are dead, they wouldn't be able to. Guys, think about that. How has nobody else talked? Why isn't anybody else snitching? Well, what if they're dead? What if they're dead? Does that not align with that theory too? Does it not align with the theory that the other perpetrators may have died that night? That's why they tore down the house, because if we did do DNA testing, it would be other people's blood, as you all just said. We didn't get to see the bodies removed because there would be either more or less than they said, or they would be bigger than what females and the people that they say lived in that house that died. But you can patch bullet holes. I really am starting to think that we're hitting it on the money, that that maybe there was the assassination attempt on this house because parents of the kids in that house cooperated with the feds. They either had some sort of handler or lookout. I mean, guys, do you guys realize the coincidences of the cops on the band field? The only time that they are running into those kids on the band field is right before or as the crime is happening. Do we hear or see any damn activity that night on Linda Lane that would seem like that's a good area for open intoxicants to be sitting there and patrolling for? I mean, they're going even back behind this house in what seems to be more residential neighborhoods. But I'm talking about the hybrid Ford Fusion. I'm like, was that really the girl's lookout? People talk about Rosie. What are the chances that all of that happens? And then the Delta on the body cam. See, I don't know. That's the thing, guys. That's the thing. I think we're still thinking too simple yet too hard about that Banfield interaction. Let's try to look at it through the light that the girls, like they said, oh, we had no idea Kaylee had a stalker. Her family said, right? We know it wasn't Brian Koberger because in the post-sentencing press conference, they said it wasn't. So the other thing, and I was texting Discord Dawn about this, and that is when national security is referenced in a case, and I want you guys to fact check me on this. When national security is referenced in a case, and you have Judge Hippler saying, well, I don't think there's a gun involved in this case, but we put, guns and knives in boxes just for safety so it's not an accident, right? It was in that hearing. When there's national security involved, you can say different language about the wounds of victims. You can say different language in public-facing documents, okay? In the public-facing documents, you can do it. And I would encourage you guys to go look that up. So sharp-edged wounds. Okay, sharp-edged wounds is what they've said, and multiple weapons. And we don't get to see certain aspects of the autopsy still. They're not releasing the crime scene photos. There are so many. We've even been brainwashed. Okay, so here's another thing. I'm not calling anybody out in the hive per se or anybody in the chat, but for myself, I've even been brainwashed by the narrative because what I've done is I've tried to prove what the narrative has said and tried to just prove what they said was wrong. It's not getting the truth. All that's doing, and all we spent a shit ton of time doing, was saying what the news is saying is not accurate. This is actually what is accurate. But it still didn't get anybody closer to the truth. Yeah, pretty much what happened is I have no idea. Is it on the Linda Lane footage, Lisa? So Lisa had said, Birdie, have you watched Nicole Casey's video on YouTube? It's mind-blowing. You can hear Xana and Ethan being blanked outside, and Xana mentioned names. If that's on the Linda Lane, yeah, I've heard that. I don't know if I've seen Nicole Casey's, though. Tiggle Biddies says, I don't know shit, Birdie. Exactly. And Brandon says, pretty sure they can just straight up lie for my national security. My national security. Now, okay. 1-1. 1-1. Okay, work with me on this. So you're in the NYPD. I'm just assuming. I don't know how much you would know about undercover operations. If all of those people who went to go and try to assassinate them, like let's try to just, for the sake of this, get your minds right for framing it in this light, which is, let's say that the perps did die. None of them are alive. You don't have a press conference for 4 days. Oddly enough, after somebody who went to the hospital had a nurse call the FBI and leave a tip about the fact that his injuries don't match what was said to be a car accident. And my question is, so if that's the case, for the public-facing conviction, could that become the operation? Could it become the operation just to cover up the public conviction, or just to get the public conviction? Like, what if the cover-up also is just completely different? What if what we're just watching is literally a pieced together constructed narrative to make Brian Koberger take the fall because all of the perps are dead? Would the law enforcement or powers that be ever have that as their only purpose? Would Brian Koberger ever just have the operation of going undercover for that purpose? That's my question. You think the perps are alive and well? Man. There's, and it's hard because, guys, there's so much shit out there. It's so hard to get people to think collectively. And I'm not saying that in the Hive we only have to think through the fact that they could have died. If there's a better theory out there that we haven't looked at that makes some things fall into place, I'm all for it. And are the perps living and they're just on the free? And are we supposed to believe that we know this? We know the real perps are out there, but the FBI is just not going to do anything about it? That law enforcement at this high profile of a case is really just going to settle with Brian Koberger as the public facing patsy? I mean, again, not to just keep putting one on the spot, but there's really good men and women in the police force and the FBI with the highest integrity. Maybe it doesn't always get brought into that light in the news. And of course, we always hear about like the bad shit, but I would just find that hard to believe that not one person in those organizations would know that then. Yeah, I still want to figure that out. So Core had said, did we ever figure out why he didn't have to go upstairs? That still seems so important. 1-1 says most of the attack happened outside. This is why lack of evidence in the house. There's 3 cases still going on. That's obviously that's a very good point. Yes. Lisa asked, is it true that it was a message as far as like sending a hit for people that cooperated with the feds? I absolutely think that if there was a message sent, that would be the reason why. And guys, real quick, I got some exciting news. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, I have Kelly Patterson, who's going to be coming into the Hive. I was over on her channel, Surviving the Truth. So Kelly was trafficked all the way from, I mean, it's the most sad story. It's absolutely incredible. She's alive. A, B, it's even more remarkable that she's able to talk about it. So she was trafficked to the elite of the elite. The last time, and the reason why I said now she's naming names, she had said that this gentleman has now passed, but like, guys, we're talking in the networks of Henry Kissinger. Okay. So it's obviously a huge and very important topic, especially with what's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell's supposed ask for being what's that freaking word? Pardoned. And I'm so curious to dive into that. So if you've been into the Epstein stuff, if you've been into the recent, the stuff that's coming out with the Trump administration saying that, like, why are we still talking about that idiot Epstein? I saw a clip today of Trump got asked about Ghislaine Maxwell's pardon. He kind of said, he's like, I don't know, so I can't answer it. Like, I'll have to look into it. A lot of people ask me for pardons. I'm starting to wonder if, and I'm just saying, I mean, did somebody in the CIA or the FBI, did they say, hey, like, the stuff that's in these files, they were being blackmailed to do nefarious stuff, right? Not that we're going to think that, how can I say this? Not that we're going to think that anybody would want to be blackmailing somebody, but could you use it strategically and not release it? Could you threaten them with the release of it if they continued that behavior? Like, they say it's all these celebrities, all these super powerful officials. Could you actually use that same blackmail against them to threaten to release it if they don't comply? Would be my thought. So those are questions that I'm going to ask Kelly tomorrow, and I think that that's going to be one for the books. So we've been trying to get her into the Hive for a while. She had lost her voice for a few weeks, but tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, Kelly Patterson will be in the Hive, which and she's down to answer questions from the Hive. It's going to be great. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was this. So in addition to the house being torn down, there has been, have you guys noticed the lack of, how should I say this? How we were just saying that how is somebody not talked, right? How has nobody talked about it? Thank you so much, Bextats. Just prove me wrong. Maddie's the only one that passed. Of the roommates, is what you're saying? Are you saying just of the roommates? Yes. And why do you think that? Does anybody agree, or like with Bextats, is there anybody that thinks that whether it's Maddie or just one other person passed? And while you guys are answering, I have this. This is obviously the frat house. The biggest giveaway to me that the frats at a large level, meaning lots of kids involved, is I think exactly that nobody's snitched. It's not to say that people maybe don't have ties to a frat or there's a one-off party, but with all the 4chan and the Reddit posts and all that shit coming out, I don't know. I have a buddy who's convinced that was like Fed posting and just shit posting to kick this exact cluster F off. Was just anonymous posts. And then on Twitter, there's some guy that put out his theory about all of the like profile pictures on the 4chan of the sliced roast beef is what they called those threads. And he's saying that these profile pictures on those threads are telling a story. Do you think so? Absolutely. There's so many of the frat kids involved that are just able to stay quiet. Genuinely confused. You stuck to your word. So last night Jen said I need a fun username from the Hive. We gave one out to Jamie, who's now not Lamey Jamie. We have Genuinely Confused, and we have Tiggle Biddy's KDF. So we're handing out usernames left and right. If you're not happy with yours, the Hive has got you. No refunds on the usernames either. back to the clean walls, Birdie. I don't think there were any perps. I think the kids are in WITSEC. Really? Is there a is there a specific video, or can I just pull up any Banfield footage? The other thing too is that moving company closed down like 10 days after they moved out the girl stuff. Thank you, Pyramid Gal. Money. Appreciate that. You guys rock for the super chats. I will get that voice dialed in. I didn't even know there was anybody in shorts.
Couple beers.
Beers?
Yeah.
Any hard liquor or anything like that?
No.
Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got the ID on you?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll take it back to my apartment if you need.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You got a driver's license?
I don't have it.
What? No, in general.
I do have one, yeah.
What state is it through?
Idaho.
Idaho? Okay, perfect. I'm just going to check if everything's good. Since they're not open, I'll let you hang on to them.
Okay. So will I get charged with anything?
No,
or?
no.
Okay. Appreciate it.
But it's just enough for me to stop, check, make sure you're 21, walking around here in public.
Alright.
Moscow 77, check one. What's that?
Am I going to take off? Or?
No, let me run this through dispatch, make sure you're actually 21 and give me a fake birth date or anything. Well, yeah.
Oh, buddy. That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
One. So if that comes back good, yeah, you're free to go. Are these your boys?
No, I don't know them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys taking off on me?
I didn't hear you. Yeah, we thought you were talking.
You all three turned around and I pointed my flashlight. You said, "Hey, come here." You guys all turned around and walked away.
I thought it was just like a fake person, honestly. Yeah. Like
How many fake people are out here?
I've always wondered about that. How many fake people are out here? I thought you were a fake person, honestly. I have had somebody slide into my DMs that I think was absolutely serious, saying a reason as to how this was all. I honestly, I don't even know how to explain this theory. It was the longest novel I've ever gotten in a TikTok DM, but it was all based off of that comment alone. It was honestly, it was impressive. It was impressively remarkable. Now, I didn't know you were a real person. The way I interpreted that is like if that kid was nervous and been drinking, was like, oh, I thought you were just somebody pretending to be a cop. Like, was it just somebody messing with him? And that came out as like, oh, I thought you were a fake person. That's the only reasonable thing that I can think of as to why somebody would say that.
You've experienced.
How's your night going?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Just trying to stay warm.
Is that y'all's car right there?
Gas. They downgraded us from patrol cars.
Gotcha.
They gave us hybrids to save on fuel.
There you go.
smart move, smart move.
That lets me know that actually exists. I'll catch you later. All right.
No worries.
Why don't you guys all have a drink tonight?
Couple beers.
Beers?
Yeah.
Any hard liquor or anything like that?
No.
Come on, guys. All right, if you guys all want to stand somewhere in this area. What the? Sorry, guys, I thought that I played the full one.
I didn't see any shorts, but again, that could be not the full video. So this video is from True Crime Syndicate. Where's the audio? Thank you, Z.
Hey guys,
That.
Moscow PD.
Fergie right here. There's another.
Come over here, talk to me.
That Banfield, there's footage that shows body.
Moscow PD.
I've seen so many people mention that.
Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got your ID on you?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll take it back to my apartment if you need.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop, but I'm not going to push it. Yeah, you got your ID on you?
I don't.
Okay. I'm going to grab your info just because you got beer and you're walking around with it.
That's funny.
It's closed.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I live like right there. I'll take it back if you need.
No, we're just doing alcohol enforcement and running around with beer across the street.
No worries. Sorry about that.
You're good. What's your last name? Date of birth.
2001. Like one.
I just pull that one off. That's an awesome birthday.
Yeah, lucky birthday.
You got a driver's license?
I don't have it.
What? No, in general.
I do have one, yeah.
What state is it through?
Idaho.
Idaho? Okay. So I'm just going to check if everything's good. Since they're not open, I'll let you hang on to them.
Okay.
So-
Will I get charged with anything?
No,
or-
no.
Okay. Appreciate
But
it.
it's just enough for me to stop, check, make sure you're 21,
No worries.
walking
Yeah,
around
I
here
get
in
it.
public.
Alrighty.
Moscow 77, check one. What's that?
Am I going to take off? Or?
No, let me run this through dispatch and make sure you're actually 21 and give me a fake birthday or anything.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah. 2001, North Idaho.
That seems good, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
I won't lie to you. It's funny.
Yeah, I think that's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
One. So if that comes back good, yeah, you're free to go. Are these your boys?
No, I don't know them.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just hang on, my man.
Oh,
Yeah, wait till dispatch comes back and says you're good.
Alright, no worries.
You guys taking off on me?
I didn't hear you. Yeah, we thought you were talking.
You all three turned around and I pointed my flashlight. You said, "Hey, come here." You guys all turned around and walked away.
I thought it was just like a fake person, honestly. Yeah, like.
How many fake people are out here that
Somebody
you've experienced?
Frat or something. Someone trying to fuck us.
Okay, that's fair.
How's your night going?
I did know that.
Pretty
That's
good.
crazy.
That's good.
Just trying to stay warm.
Is that y'all's car right there?
Yeah.
Undercover.
Well, just trying to save gas. They downgraded us from patrol cars.
Gotcha.
They gave us hybrids to save on fuel.
There you go.
Smart move. Smart move.
Yeah. All right. Once dispatch lets me know that actually exists, I'll catch you this. All right.
No worries.
You guys over at which department did y'all come from?
I don't know. I was at a friend's house.
I don't know. I was at a friend's house.
Okay. Do you know the person hosting the party?
Some guy named Matt, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
In the middle. What's your first name?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's so true. They are very suspicious. Has there always been no audio on this? Or is this just... I swear there was more.
Why don't you guys all have a drink tonight?
Couple beers.
Beers?
Yeah.
Hard liquor or anything like that?
No. No.
Come on, guys. Stumbling down the driveway like that, that's more than a couple beers.
To be honest, I haven't drinking anything in like a month and a half, so kind of got to me pretty quick.
But it's more than a couple beers.
6 at most.
Okay. What about you?
8.
Yeah. That's more accurate of an answer, I think. 2 is, yeah, it's a little low.
Oh, no.
So, 6 to 8 for all of you?
Probably, yeah.
Some more shots?
No shots.
Okay. What kind of beer?
Bush Light.
Bush Light?
Yeah, I didn't natural light.
All right. Let's try one more time. Was it really 6 to 8 or a little more than that?
16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, for me, okay.
All right.
$59.77. Are you gonna be issuing? Copy. I'll bring him over and sit, write out one myself. All right, guys, come on over here. All right, if you guys all want to stand somewhere in this area, don't run off on me. None of you guys are 21. It's one thing to drink in an apartment where no one can see you. It's another thing for us to drive by and see you guys absolutely stumbling down the roadway. Okay? So likely what's going to happen, because you're all underage, what grade are you guys in? What year are you?
Freshman.
You guys are all freshmen?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys had any cop talks or anything like that with our 2 campus officers?
Yeah.
Brzezinski, Morris? Okay.
Yeah.
So none of this is a surprise. They've explained this all. They've given all the warning, stuff like that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So you guys are going to hang out for me. I know it's cold. I apologize. We'll try to get through this as quickly as we can. We're going to get you some citations and we'll catch you loose. Okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds good? All right.
That sounded weird the way that he said that. The cop talks.
Good. Negative. He's been released from the scene. Thank you, though. What's that? No, he showed me a picture of it. I don't know if it was a 2-part blast, and I don't know if I messed that up, but he showed me a valid picture of his ID. I can even see the hologram in it. Do you want to give me more of their info and I'll start?
I got his address in front of the
Okay. Actually, go ahead with that.
It's so weird how the audio cuts out. I feel like unless there's just been newer audio that's been released and this is early, I swear this, unless it's just been a while. Yeah, it doesn't seem, yeah. The noise complaints is weird. The open intoxicants is weird on Greek Row. Am I the only one that remembers there being audio for this? Like on the Law and Crime channel? Yeah, there's more than this.
You've not? Okay. For this guy? You're good. Gonna be the last of Regan, Robert, Edward, George, Adam, Nora. First of Peter, common spelling, middle B, boy. DOB is 2003, Milford, Idaho. Do you write these MIC or MIP? We're good for, thank you. Okay.
This is just, it's so, like, doesn't it just seem way too anticlimactic for this? The fact that, sorry, someone was calling me. And doesn't it just seem that for how important we all think this is, like, what if, I hate asking this question because I'm not trying to, like, be, what do they call it? Like blackpilling anybody. But I'm just curious, does anybody think that if, similar like how we watched Dylan's interview, would we know that anybody even died or that anything was going sketchy around this time? I mean, everybody seems calm. There's, like, would these kids seem sketchy if this didn't happen at 1122 King Road that night? I don't know if it would seem sketchy. Now, a lot of people have said this. A lot of people have talked about, like, they've did some video tricks to hide some girl that was right down there by the bushes and they blurred it out. I don't know. I've watched all those videos. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know.
Sorry guys, almost done. You want to send first? Okay. Here's your ID back.
Thank you.
So it's infraction ticket, so it's not misdemeanor, nothing criminal, just like that.
Okay, cool.
Your info's up here. Driver's license information.
Yes, sir.
Charge can be minor in consumption.
Okay.
Idaho code. Here's the location. My info down here. So you need to have this either contested or paid by the 1st of December 2022 at 8:30.
You know how much it would be?
At the courthouse, I do. If you sign the yellow there, the charge for MIC MIP is $487.50.
Okay.
So. Perfect. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
I'll get you. All right, man. Any questions for me? What's that? Yeah, you're good, Joe.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, you too, man. All right, guys, almost over yours. Had you been issued an MIC or MIP citation before? Okay. You started the third one? Okay. That's good. Sorry guys, I know it's cold. Like I said, it's one thing to drink inside, I'm sure. I mean, we've all been in college, we've all been there. But it's another thing to be very publicly intoxicated and kind of bring this conversation on. So, that being said, not the end of the world. So, just an infraction, not a criminal charge, nothing like that. So,
Appreciate it.
yeah. In the future, I know it might seem like it's weird that cops walk around in plain clothes, but we do have a job to do. So, if I yell at you guys, hey, come talk to me, probably should go that route instead of walking away. All right. You guys all live at the same frat?
Yeah.
Which is?
Alpha Kappa.
What's you guys' tradition with flipping a car at the beginning of each year?
I snapped in, so I didn't join for like a month.
Oh, really?
You mean like the car bash?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just an event for Rush, so that we can get kids over there. You know, beating up the cars, fighting all the pickaxes and sledgehammer.
Well, we see it every year in the morning. We drive by and we go, holy shit, someone's got some cleanup to do. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Who gets to give up their personal car for a bashing?
They just buy it.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Buy a junker?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know how much that would be.
Probably not more than a couple $100.
Yeah. It didn't drive, so.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Probably less than what you guys pay in a weekend of beer for a good party, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seems to be a pretty slow weekend. I was expecting it to be busier with
I'm pretty sure it's.
the football game and Saturday. Like, I was expecting busy, but this seems slow.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
People are inside because it was
Oh, fucking cool, yeah.
Ethan? No, me. Okay. So.
I got you.
Citation here, and the rest of your information on here, but that's all your information.
So is there a rule, like if you get multiple MIPs and MICs, it'll turn into an actual charge?
Yeah, so it's your third one turns into a misdemeanor, which is a criminal charge. Your second one is additionally more expensive than $487.50. So I don't know what it goes up to, but yeah.
Definitely less than one.
Yeah. Just wait till you're 21, or be smart about it. I'm not going to say I didn't drink in college, I did, but I can go staggering around the middle of the roadway, you know, afterwards. So, not saying you're a bad person or anything, but there's a way to do it, obviously, and there's a way to do it not, obviously.
Blonde. Eye color? Blue.
back. The sign will generate, okay? So restrictions in the back. I said 48750. Again, I've paid or contested by the single first. Okay? Sign yellow line is not a mission of guilt. It's just saying to acknowledge that candidate, okay? Up here. Obviously, you're in Green College, so it's above you. Smart about it when you stay green drunk on top of stuff. Okay, so you're free to go.
See you, man.
All right, let's also do your social.
I'm gonna skip ahead to this part right here, where they start walking and everybody says they see that shit in the bushes. Because everyone's saying that it's like right here. You can see some stuff that looks like there was some camera tricks over by this car. The volume is down on this, by the way. It's redacted. Yeah, I always wondered that too. Why don't they have their flashlights on there? But they do it when the car is lighting up the whole damn street. So this is kind of... Oh, I'll move myself to the other side. So this is over here. This is where everybody's saying that there's shit that's going down that's sus. And why not see? Because I've never done this. I've never played around with this stuff on this for this what people have said has happened. Now, is it here that everybody's talking about, or is it here? Is it if you're looking at my screen, is it up here? Or is it no, it's not gonna be here because they stood here. Let's just see if we can. Yeah. I'll play around with it here for a couple seconds. Let's see if we can. Sometimes you'd be surprised with like these Canva filters. They work better than you'd think. So this is what they're saying is all blurred, is right there. And there's been some people that have gotten it. I've seen the videos. So to anybody that doesn't know what we're looking at right now, I've seen more videos than I can remember about people saying that this footage here has been blurred. They've talked about how does a light like go through the car and how does it stay as bright. And they're saying, you know, this is somebody blurred out. Now, the other thing, when you look here, there's something kind of weird about this. You got to go ahead a little bit.
Yes, I did.
Turn that down so it's not robot voice. Yeah, I've seen some of Rolla Moda. Yeah, that's what everybody's talked about, is that I'm also like actually real life colorblind. So it's hard for me to. So okay. Now, this is weird. Okay? This is weird. I don't remember where I heard this for the first time, but can somebody tell me why my guy over here to the right shrunk down to the size of an elf? Can somebody tell me how this guy, is this just pure camera manipulation right now, everybody? Can somebody tell me how this dude shrunk? That person wouldn't even be, this is ridiculous. It's like, this is just insane. I don't know any explanation for this. So if we were to draw a line from Buddy's head, I'm trying to see what, can you guys see that color okay? There we go. I mean, look at that. That's insane. What camera effect would cause that to happen? Does anybody actually know? Yeah, and then you're right, down here. Oops. Down here, that looks curved. That's from a fisheye lens? A fisheye lens? I mean, guys, he's not even at the height of this car's trunk. He's not even at the height of the trunk. So let's go back and let's just see how this plays out. I'm going to put it at 0.25. I know some people disagree with that speed because then it gets a little choppy. I like 0.25 better than 0.5 for this type of stuff. But if we have to go 0.5, I will. Now, I mean, he's getting shorter. I mean, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo here. And then you got Earl, who is it? Earl Boyd. Christ. And so what is this dude's height? That's what I'm thinking. Oh, it's funny. I just said NBA players too. And mean, his camera angle's moving all around. I mean, because now he's normal next to this car. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? If you stood next to this car, that's about as that seems like a normal person's height from here. But then when you go back to this, it certainly doesn't look like that. Yeah, Spud Webb. We just found the real perp. Spud Webb. Everybody's saying you can see people behind him. Okay, I can't. The only thing I wonder if I could, if I screen record it and then I put it into Canva. Let me see if that helps. Let me go back. So I'm going to screen record this. Then I'll put a filter on it into Canva. Okay, that sounds good, Queen of Denial. Typically, I try to go through the threads on the Discord. But I'll check it out. Yeah, this is all moving around back there.
Yes, information here, but that's all your information. Citations MIC. And down here is indeed the paper test by days.
All right, I got enough screen recorded to I got enough screen recorded here to put this into Canva. All right, so let's do that. Record it and then I put it into Canva. Let me see if that helps. Let me go back. So I'm going to screen record this. All right. So all right. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, now I sounded like an elf. I got to get that audio. All I was trying to do is have it be something for like, if people did feel kind enough for the super chats, it would read out loud on screen. I'll have that fixed soon. Thanks for putting up with me tonight with that. I do like how it pops up on screen though, which is nice. Whoa, hold on. I was gonna say, I know at first I thought Buddy here was barefoot, but it's not. Interesting. Interesting for sure. All right, let's have this play on a loop. Now, what happens here? What happens if we invert this photo? I mean, I didn't expect for this to kind of turn into a live dig. I've just seen so many people talk about this when it comes to, you know, this scene. Okay, well, that. See, this is like, whenever I look at this stuff, I'm not. I mean, damn, this dude looks like a demon. Doesn't that dude kind of looks like an alien head, doesn't it? Does not look like a human head at all. Power of Christ compels you. Yeah. I've heard people talk about that too. Jeff says on another officer's body cam, you can see the officer with the notebook go for his light, but he needs two hands to write in the notebook. The other officer says, I got you, and puts his flashlight on. Yeah, because, I mean, it is inconvenient, but I do tend to agree with that. All right, well, let's see a different one. This reminds me of the TikTok days where we would just go around and we'd be looking for anything. All right. Let's get a different filter on. I mean, it doesn't look nearly as blurry with this on, does it? I feel like it's way cleared up with this. One second. I want to also just see this then. Because this seems to be the angle that everybody's talking about right here. You guys tell me. Oh, shit. Damn it. I did it again. I mean, it certainly looks. I mean, that does look like a blur tool if I've ever seen a blur tool here. I mean, that's about as obvious of a blur tool as you can have. I mean, come on, guys. Look at this. I mean, like, watch. I'll do the blur tool here. We'll blur this. We'll blur this. We'll blur the. Well, everything's blurred. Let's just blur out this back here. Actually, you guys can't see that. All right, I'll just blur out this line. How trippy would it be if it like reverses by me trying to blur it? It reverses their blur. So you guys can see there. I mean, is that working? I'm removing their blur. Obviously, I don't think that would work. All right. I mean, it's just as weird. It's crystal clear, and that's the only spot it is blurry. I will say, I don't know, because like you can't even see the tire of this car. How can there be this many things weird on one night? I mean, look at how small that car is now. Okay, watch how this blue car turns into a clown car. Look at that. I get it, fisheye for sure. It could be fisheye, don't get me wrong. Wide angle, yeah. mean, look at this. I've not noticed this before. So you guys can't see it because my face was in the way. But here. Look at this. I mean, they have the... That's extremely blurred. Right? Okay, this is actually interesting because I've not seen this. I'm not saying so Jeff, I'm not saying that what you're saying doesn't exist or whatever. I totally agree. There's motion blur. But like clearly they're redacting other stuff. Like this is the license plate they're getting rid of. I mean, this entire thing is odd. I mean, that's weird. I mean, this is where everybody says it's a person, right? Isn't this where they're saying that person was? Is this... What kind of car is that? Kind of looks like a minivan. From this angle. Jeff, I know you put out all that Linda Lane footage and stuff. Are you a what do they call it? Like an expert in the field by trade, or is it just a hobby? Nice. They're saying Jeff is a guilt or troll. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Jeff H is getting the hive all riled up. Jeff's probably just like, oh. It's good to have people in the hive that disagree. It makes for an interesting chat. I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. Try to autofocus it. Well, that's certainly weird. When I do autofocus, look at this crack. Jeff, can you explain this? Actually, not even trying to be an a-hole here. I'm curious. What would that be if I autofocus this? Why would this pop up here? Oh shit. Does anybody have an answer for that? I mean, why would that be? That's so interesting. Yeah, that's weird. Screen repair. Oops, wrong one. Sometimes just going crazy with the image upscaler too can bring out something weird. Yeah, it is. So Jeff, yes. Oops. I like it better than Photoshop personally, but I'm ever only working with just webcam and streaming stuff, not actual, photography. Come on. Come on. Load. Hey, if you guys, before we end this stream, if you guys are not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. As I was in YouTube jail, it seems like forever ago. It was only less than 2 weeks ago. So I think I'm in a timeout still a bit, which is normal. But if you guys could please like and subscribe, that would be great. I'm going to try to upscale this quick, and then we'll see what we get. All right. I mean, that's actually... It's not too bad. Okay, now that's a little bit weird. Tell me that's not a little bit weird. How is this photo? Is this an optical illusion? And I'm not even trying to be weird or just tell me this photo doesn't look the exact same way on its side. I have this completely flipped. That's why. What the heck? See the timestamp up top? That could look normal too. I mean, which photo looks more normal? Interesting. All right, Hive, we're going to try one more thing here. Like I said, this stream, I had a little bit different plans for it, but trying to get that damn text to pop up with the voice took up a lot of my prep time today, so I apologize. But just as a reminder, too, tomorrow Don't miss this one. This will be a good one, especially into like the Epstein stuff. I don't know, guys. There might be something to what they're blurring out here. It's just so weird. Oh, man. Well, Hive, I hope everybody had a great day. Thank you all for tuning in. Tomorrow night with Kelly Patterson is going to be great. 7 p.m. Central, our normal time here in the Hive. And then also just a couple other announcements. Like I said, after this week, going to be flying solo a little bit more often. Been really heavy on the guests the last couple of weeks with the roundtable, with the weekly guests. Nothing against any of them. We're still going to do the roundtable. I'm working with DA on some future stuff as well. And I just think, like I said, it's important for me to continue to stay active in the chat, as that is exactly what the Hive is for. We got some super exciting stuff coming. And yeah, with that, Hive, I hope you all have a great night. Sleep good. Crush your day tomorrow. And I will see you all tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Central. Cheers.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.